Well, I'm not just ready to pull this up yet, but we've got some a flooring guy coming out here tomorrow to do some measuring, and he got some carpet samples over here. I'm kind of liking this shag type stuff. Maybe not as thick as that shag. Here's the next bit. It almost kind of has a shag look to it, but it's a cut pile as well. And I kind of like this one here. Mommy kind of likes that too. We're going to check that out tomorrow during the light. You never want to make a carpet sample under light that's not your natural outside light coming in. Okay, but before the guys get here, I'm kind of curious. When I start pulling this up, I'm hoping it's just nailed. I'm hoping it's not glued down. And here's my other thought too on the wood subfloor. I'm not sure if we go with a planking type material. This is vinyl, vinyl, and see, it's not very thick, is it? See that? Look at that. And I don't know if it can, if it's really recommended to go right over a subfloor like this. If you have any upsy daisies and different things, this might feel kind of funky on top of this floor. They probably are going to recommend us using a hardy board, backer board material it's called, and you can get it 1/4 inch and 1/2 inch. But see, she got some other samples from another company, and that company's going to come out here tomorrow, and this is vinyl too. And see how thick it is? Look at that. And I'm not sure if it just goes from here to there for the thickness, or if this is the whole thing and then this is the groove and it's actually this thick, or if this is just for the sample board, you know, the back piece to the sample board. Because I'm looking at another piece here. See, this one is full vinyl, and see this one is probably 5/16 to 3/8 thick. This one, if they're doing the whole thing, that's 3/4, probably 5/8, 3/4 thick. This one here is about 3/8 thick. See, this to there. And so I'm curious, because like this one here, Mommy really likes this, and we may end up going with this. And see, it's probably this wide from here all the way to there. See that little V there? That's where the joint is. And so this is just a little piece. And so the planking is probably that wide. And it's about 3/8 of an inch thick. It's a little bit thicker than that other stuff. And they may be able to bridge over this entire floor without us having to put that hardy backer board down. Or, you know, maybe that comes a little bit thicker. I don't know. We'll just have to find out tomorrow. And so before they come, I want to pull some of this up, and that's what this video segment's about. And I'm just going to set you up right here. We're gonna find out together. Mommy wanted to start pulling it up earlier, but she had to go, and I said, no, I want to do it on camera because I usually like you to see what I see for the first time. And so first I've got to get the tack strip up, just this edge right here. And I'm just using a shovel. Get that out of the way. That's all you need. It's a shovel with a sharp point on it. Get that. And now this is the curious part. Here's some joints here, so I'm gonna try to peel it up right here with my shovel. I also got a flat bar, and I'm kind of thinking this shovel's going to do it. hopefully it's not glued down. I'm praying. All right. It's not glued down. Look at that. I'm gonna like taking this floor up. I'm just taking up a couple pieces, and we're gonna look at this floor. I'm sure glad they did not try to glue it to the floor. I've seen some people glue wood planking down. There's certain ones that glue down, or if there's concrete. I've even seen different HG TV shows glue it down to a subfloor, the vinyl planking. And I'm not sure. You know, some are like that, some aren't. And this is just a paper barrier. I don't know why they used black paper. They should have. I would have used plastic and put the whole thing down. But they used this. And another job I saw, somebody did the same thing. But see, that just keeps the moisture out of the floor from coming up underneath this subfloor. There's a crawl space. This is tongue and groove 4x8 sheets, but you still could get some moisture up through there. And you don't want the moisture penetrating your wood planking, because then your wood planking, or if you have fake laminate flooring that's fake wood, you could get, see, this here is a tongue and a groove. So this is tongue and groove. Some planking is just overlapping. Maybe it has a tongue and it just overlaps and the backside is cut back, but this is what they used to use. And see, they've got it nailed. Wow, they got it face, oh, that one's face nailed. But see, most of the other ones, no, I think all of them are. I'm not sure. They should have nailed. See, that was the final piece. See how the staples are in here at the angle, because they have a special nailer and it nails right into the groove, and it's a special tool that comes up at an angle, and you set it in there and then you tap the top of it, or if it's manual you would do it that way, or they have the air impact type. See how they go in there at an angle, and it's hidden and it just depresses right in there, and then you don't see any face nails or staples. Now that first piece was the very last piece that was on there, and they had to face nail a couple places. When you do that, then you have to take some putty stick and get it matched and put it down, and they did a really good job with it. Now see, I'm liking that. That's just the subfloor, no glue on it, no nothing. The paper barrier, that's going to come up nice and easy. If it comes up as easy as that you saw here, see this is all loose right now, and obviously there's staples and stuff all the way through there. So as I pull this up, I'm gonna have to get down there with my little cutters, you know, and wherever I feel any nails or staples, I've got to pull those up, and I just get it on there and run it sideways like that and jerk it out of there. And see, even the staples for the paper that's down, I'm going to pull those out. The staples, this was for the carpet pad, They stapled it with a hammer tacker. I've got to pull those out because this floor's got to be smooth, right? Especially if we put the vinyl planking down. Some wood planking. If we were going with real wood planking, now mind you, this is real wood planking, but it's not very thick, is it? It's like 3/8, 5/16 thick. And you know, that was installed 15 years ago here, okay? And that's what they had. Well, you can get real wood planking that's 3/4 of an inch thick. And see, that would be good to do over a subfloor like this. But I'm hoping that we're going to be able to go right over this floor with the vinyl planking, the 3/8 vinyl planking, and I think it's gonna lay down nice. What I'm gonna have to do, obviously, when I pull everything, I'm gonna have to look at anything. See how some of this is raised up. We've got that all along here in certain areas, and after I take the staples out, I'm gonna have to feel my hand on it, make sure there's no high pieces. If there's some high pieces, I'm going to have to kind of scrape those off. I may have to put a little fix all stuff in certain areas because I want to have this as smooth as I can get it in order for that flooring, that 3/8 flooring to fit on here, okay? And without having to put any hardy board, that 4x8 sheets of hardy board. See that hardy board stuff? If you were to put travertine down or something like that, you'd put the hardy board down first. Okay, then you'd glue the travertine to the hardy board. Because if your subfloor ever moves, it can still move around without cracking your travertine grout lines, let's say, because you've got the hardy board on there. So that's kind of letting your subfloor kind of move around. If you were to glue travertine floor tiles or anything like that down to an existing subfloor, you just never want to do that, because if your subfloor moves around, your tile grout lines are going to crack. You could also throw little hairline cracks through your travertine. If your travertine's 18 by 18 inches or 24 by 24, you could have a hairline crack going through the whole thing if your subfloor were to move and if that was glued directly down to your subfloor. Do you see what I'm saying? But we don't have that issue because we're having planking, and even though it's going to be vinyl planking, I think it's still going to be stout enough to go over this without having to put any hardy 1/4 inch hardy board down or anything like that. I think all we'll have to do is put a vapor barrier, and that vapor barrier is just, all it's going to be is plastic visqueen probably, and then they'll put that down. Not something real thin, but not something really super thick either. Kind of in between. Well, maybe towards the thick side, and then they can staple that down. Can you see? That'll be the barrier. We're not going to use this black paper. Really? You're using this as a barrier? You'd have to overlap the seams. This stuff comes like 3 foot wide, and then you have to overlap it and hope that you're not close to a seam on the 4x8 sheets of the subfloor. Yeah. See, that's the old days. The old days are gone. These are the new days. Okay, and because it's the vinyl stuff, we're only going to put plastic as the backing, as the vapor barrier. I've seen some stuff, they come in rolls. You can buy 6 foot wide rolls, and you can put that under laminate flooring, certain type of flooring, and it has little air bubbles on it, almost like a cushion, to kind of cushion the floor a little bit. But we wouldn't want that under these vinyl planks, I doubt. Very seriously, are we going to do that? We'll ask the guy tomorrow. If you get wide enough planking, see, this one is wide, man. From there to there, that's where the joint is, see? There's a joint going up there. And I can tell by that on this particular piece, because this is a full piece all the way to there. See where that V is? That's where the overlapped area is, where it snaps together. So I'm thinking this particular style, I kind of like that mottled type look, don't you? It still has a little bit of texture on there, so if there's water, if you spill anything, or you come in and it's raining outside and you walk in, I don't think you're going to slip and fall or anything like that. You don't want it perfectly smooth, but I don't really think the Vaporberry will have any cushiony stuff underneath that. But we'll talk to the guy. There's different thicknesses of that, and one is very, very small. And so who knows? Maybe the guy will say, "Oh yeah, that kind of gives you just a very slight cushion, and it fixes any imperfections that you might have on your subfloor plywood, let's say." And because these are so wide, you're never going to feel some sort of give as you're walking between. If you got your foot right on a seam, let's say, because this is almost 3/8 thick as opposed to 1/4 inch or 5/16. You know what I mean? We'll just see. So that's all the types of things you've got to think about before you install a floor. Okay. Well, I'm glad this turned out to be this way. I'm going to pull these staples up and get this kind of cleaned up, pound down the staples over here, and get this ready to be thrown away. So I've got this all swept up, so I'm ready for the guys in the morning when they come out. Okay. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. Hoo-wee, I'm glad today's over. Well, that's all I got for this time, but I'll be back with more videos. All right, what was I doing?